Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everyone. I'm just going to make sure everybody that's watching this live knows that we are live. And let's go. So I'm going to get right into it today because it's a serious topic. And the topic is income producing activities, right? So first off, I hope everyone is having an amazing day. Today has been phenomenal for me. I hung out with my son. It was beautiful outside today in New York City, and we enjoyed the sun. We enjoyed a little bit of watching a movie, and now it's back to work. So I hope everybody had a great day, great evening, great afternoon, wherever you are in the world watching this. Good evening. So the topic tonight, income producing activities. IPA is what it stands for. A lot of people that are in this class are a part of the internet marketing world. Somehow, some way, you have some sort of business or something that you are selling, and you need the internet in order to do it. So there's a lot of different, excuse me, there's actually it's very easy to get distracted when you are working online because of everybody's, Facebook posts, Instagram posts. They got sales funnels everywhere that catch your attention, and also what's going on in the world and the news. It could be very easily distracting. So if you don't have a list of income producing activities that you're going to do on a daily basis, then you can easily get lost. And you guys are going to be super surprised at the daily activities, the income producing activities that I'm about to name to you guys. I thought, I was born in Louisiana, raised in Baltimore. Most of my early adulthood was in Baltimore, and I worked multiple jobs there. And I felt like I was just running, I guess you can call it the rat race. And I was just working and giving my all to certain companies. But when I started to kind of develop myself, I knew that I wanted to have a business of my own. I no longer wanted somebody to tell me how much I was worth. And I was on the pursuit of that. Now, it definitely fell into my lap when I moved to New York, which is almost 10 years ago. And guys, I have one earring on right now. So I just noticed I took it off when I was roasting almost. I was kind of like bathing in the sun at the park, and I forgot to put it back on. So this is the new look, guys. Anywho, so when I moved to New York City, I was 3 months pregnant, and I obviously didn't want to work a million and one jobs just to keep a roof over my son's head. So I felt like the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, was kind of pushing me in the direction that I wanted to always go in as a young child. So one day I was walking the Brooklyn Bridge, which is super inspiring, guys. I hope one day you guys can do it. It's such a beautiful view. It's only I think it's 2 miles long. It's really not that long, but you can stop in the middle and just kind of look at the west side of Manhattan and the east side of Manhattan. I don't even know if that's really what it is that you're looking at, but I know it's Manhattan. And it's just beautiful. To me, it's very inspiring. So one day I was walking the Brooklyn Bridge, and a whisper came in my ear, and it said, "Why don't you open your own salon?" And I said, okay, why not? Being in New York City, they have a lot of Dominican salons. So basically women from DR that have beauty salons, and their specialty is typically blow drying the hair. So at that time, it was only $20. Now I'm finding that it's not just $20 to get a blow dry. But anyway, they still do amazing jobs. So my hair was long because I was pregnant. I couldn't cut it. I couldn't relax it. I couldn't do anything. So my hair was long, and I needed an inexpensive place to get my hair done. So I would go to Dominican salons, and I just felt so beautiful walking out of there. So I feel like that's the reason why the God or universe, whatever you want to call it, spoke to me and said, open up a salon and be able to give that beauty to others. So in my pursuit of happiness and my pursuit of business, in 2010, I went to cosmetology school. Right after I graduated, I took up my first ever makeup course. And then I was working in the salon world, slaving away And just a lot of different bumps in the road. I even got married in the process and stuff like that. And it ended up being that I just knew that I wanted my own. Like I was like, you know what, Stacey, you got this experience in different places. You busted your butt to get this experience and take all these classes. It's time for you to now open up your own. So I did. I opened up my own salon, and I think it was in 2013. And actually, it was probably about 2014, 2013, because I just got married, and I had it with a partner. And I also was just got hired for Mac to open up their first ever Mac makeup studio, which was the first ever salon experience for Mac, which is a big deal in the Mac world. So I was basically balancing between the business that I opened as well as starting to work part-time with Mac. And it went really great. I was so fully invested into my business with my partner, but it ended up not working out. I could only be at my salon part-time. My business partner was there full time. And to be completely honest, she gained a relationship with the building manager, owner, whatever you want to call him. And they ended up, without me even knowing, taking me off of the lease. And they said, Stacey, we were moving you guys into a bigger location, but you're going to pay the same amount. You don't have to worry about being on the lease. And we're just going to go from there. And I was like, what? I started this business with her. Like, I know she's just on the lease. I know she's there full time, but why would you take me out of there? So, long story short, I did not continue with that business, but it was still in my heart and my passion to do it. So, I ended up getting let me think. What is my full story? I ended up taking more, no, with Mac, I was able to take classes with them on makeup, and they were paying me to take these classes. So I was like, I'm living the dream. I'm no longer paying thousands of dollars to take education. They're paying me to come in early and get some training on makeup. How amazing is that? So I loved everything about what I learned at the Mac Makeup Studio. There were so many different, amazing, talented people there, creative people. And I felt like I was in a gold mine, I guess you can say. And I was just developing into my goldenness because I was such a new makeup artist, but they put me with so many elite people that I just made the most of it, and I took as much as I could from them. However, even though I learned so much, it was still a corporation. So if anybody came from the corporate world, you know that it's a dog eat dog situation. You know, you got to bust your butt to get to the top. And most times you can't get to the top because it's the owner at the top, right? So I wasn't happy. After working, investing at least 60 hours a week in the business and coming home after taxes, and also they had amazing benefits, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to stay. But they had amazing benefits. And after taxes and benefits, I was making $450 to $500 a week. Now, it's not that bad, but it's not that great. And when I started hearing about the online world and how a minimum wage, some people say minimum wage online is $10,000 a month, I was like, what? I need to figure that out. But there was one little step before I even got onto the online world. So I have brows, you know, everybody has brows, right? But my brows for the longest time were super thin. I call them the Pamela Anderson brows because Pamela Anderson, when she was on Baywatch, she had like the thin, like little pinky size eyebrows, right? And when I was doing my makeup on a regular basis, it would take me like 20 minutes just to draw on my brows. So I was researching online and I came across the service called microblading. And when I saw it, I was like, oh my God, it looks so amazing, which is it's a semi-permanent tattoo for eyebrows. So it doesn't look like those really harsh Sharpie brows. It looks like hair-like strokes whenever you tattoo at them. So I was like, whoa, that looks amazing. I want that for myself. And then I found a woman that does the service and trained as well. So I flew all the way from New York City to Las Vegas to get my brows done, my brows tattooed, and to learn how to tattoo other people's brows. So it was very, very new to the market. There wasn't many people in New York that were doing this actual service. So when I came back, I wanted to start immediately, and I did. I started doing brows from my home. And anywhere I possibly could, I would go to their location. One night I woke up and my phone, I had an alert and it said that there was $1,000 in my bank account because they paid for the service overnight. And I was like, whoa, I got something here. So I ended up, while working at the Mac Makeup Studio, opening up my own salon. And I fell in love with being able to control everything myself. Nobody could take it away from me. I ended up being pretty successful. I ended up getting into a car accident, which put me on disability with Mac. And I was so devastated when it happened because I was already going through a huge transitional stage. But when I thought about it after a while, I was like, God, you're actually answering my prayers. I've always wanted to be a full-time entrepreneur, and you're allowing me to do it right now. Not only that, with a cushion, I had disability checks. So I had a cushion while pursuing my dreams. So I got to thank him now for that. But not too long after that, like you guys, you can see there's different like levels to leveling up, I guess you can say. But in the process, I was always working like so many jobs to where I wasn't putting my son to bed. I wasn't able to do homework with him. Most times I could wake up with him in the morning, but of course, the morning rush, you got to hurry up, get dressed, and make sure you have all your stuff collected and blah, blah, blah. I didn't feel like I was really spending enough time with my son. Even when I was working in my salon full time, my salon felt like a full-time job. And you know what job stands for? Just over broke. So the microblading service, it is an amazing service. If you're really dedicated to it and you really want to if you want to make that your number one priority, then it's a great service to kind of, what I say is like, get rid of the rat race, like get out of the rat race. Like it's your ticket to freedom, because it's such an amazing service. You can, people have to get touch-ups on a regular basis, and it's a good price point for you to put money in your pocket. So at that point I was making $400 an hour. So I was like, what? I don't want to go back to a job. I'm not going back to a job. I refuse to go back to a job, because where can you make $400 an hour except for maybe stripping or possibly bartending? And I wasn't trying to do that anymore. I don't strip. I never stripped, but I used to bartend and do bottle service. So I just you have to go through like all of the bumps in order to get to where you need to be. So the point of my story is, after working all these millions and one jobs just to get to my definition of financial freedom, it completely changed when I became full-time online, when I became a full-time internet marketer. So since I had to switch up everything that I was doing, because it was no longer a feature and benefits kind of business. It's basically all about you, your presence, your value, what you can give, and how you make people feel, because people are only going to do business with you if they like, know, or trust you, right? So I had to completely switch up my format on how I spoke to people now that I'm only working online, how I did business. And I realized that it's not even about the hustle and bustle and throwing the papers around. It's not that. It's all about your mindset. It's all about where your mind is at. So you literally have to train your brain, like I say, brainwash yourself to success. You have to brainwash yourself to know that whatever your heart desires, especially on this internet world, whatever your heart desires, you can get. So I'm going to go over some of the income producing activities that I've paid thousands of dollars to learn. I'm just going to tell you that right now, okay? I've taken many trainings to see what the top people do, and I was surprised by their answer. I really was. So I hope that you guys can take this information and run with it with whatever business you want to do. I know for a fact that it works for the online world, and it's my goal to get as many people working online, build their own business online as possible, because I truly believe that's the ticket to freedom. So let's go to topic number one, and that is, you first have to make a decision. A decision. So back to the beauty world. I mean, why not talk about it? It's my life. It's my experience. So I went to cosmetology school, right? I started to learn how to do hair. I was never the best at it because I never did my own hair before I went to beauty school, guys. Never did my own hair. And I never even wore makeup until I went to beauty school. And that was when I was 25 years old. So I was what is the person that's like the back of the classroom? I don't know how to call it. Like, I don't know, the slow person. I don't know. I wasn't ahead like everybody else was. Everybody else was doing their mama's hair, their sister's hair, their own hair for prom and all this other stuff, but I never did it. So I always felt behind. And I forgot where I was going with that point. And so make a decision. There you go. So because I had student loans, I was like, you know what, I'm going to start working in salons and start learning how to do hair even more, blah, blah, blah. It didn't work out whatsoever. Like, I was broke as hell. wasn't spending time with my son, but I was exhausted and it was a lot of hours. One salon, the first salon that I ever worked at, right? It was on Fifth Avenue in Manhattan between like 54th and 55th Street. It was called Louis Licari. Calvin Klein goes there to get his hair colored. Susan Sarandon goes there to get his hair colored. And so many other people, famous people, right? They told me I had to work a minimum of 55 hours a week, not including commute. And I would have an opportunity after 4 to 5 years, no less than 4 years, to become either a hair cutter or a hair colorer because it was departmentalized, right? And I was like, what? No matter what, I have to be here working 60 hours a week for 4 to 5 years before I can even become a stylist? Nah, son, nah, I'm not letting you control my own destiny. So I let that go. And then I went to a lot of different other salons too. But when a hurricane called Sandy hit New York City, my salon was right around the corner from the Con Edison building, which is basically where the electricity is held for the entire city. And that Con Edison building got flooded. So my actual salon was out of service for an entire week. Being a single mom, already pushing pennies, it was devastating for me to be out of work for a week. So I made the decision that I'm not going to give up the beauty world, but I'm going to go and get a job that I can have a consistent paycheck. And I'm going to start now pursuing the makeup that I already was taught, but I was only taught the basics. So I made the decision that I was going to be a full-time makeup artist somehow, some way. And that decision happened, I would say, I don't even know what year, but I made that decision. And 6 months after making that decision, I was made, they announced that I became the director of hair and makeup for New Day Associates. New Day Associates is a publishing company who publishes the magazine Hype Hair, Black Men's, Smooches. There's like a whole bunch of other ones too. But long story short, I was able to basically hire the makeup and hair staff that was doing all of the fashion shows, which they did fashion shows 3 to 4 times a year. And then also I was the person who could decide who would be the makeup artist or the hairstylist for the model that was going to be on the cover of a magazine. And I was like, what? When I decided to just be a makeup artist, so much more came from it when I made that decision. So you have to make a decision on where you want to go in your life. And I feel like it's easier to give yourself a title. And I said, I'm going to be a makeup artist. Like, I love makeup. I am a makeup artist. When I made that decision, everything kind of fell into place. So now I'm at the point, it's like, I am an internet marketer. Like, I work online full time and I'm going to make it work. I don't care what anybody else says or what anybody else tries to do to me to knock me down. So that's my decision. I want you guys to make some sort of decision on what direction you want to go on in your life and give it a title. It makes it a little bit easier. Now you know what to put on a business card type thing. So in my notes, it says it all starts there and you want to design your life. So I'm sure you guys heard the saying before that you are the director of your life. You are the screenwriter of your life, however you want to call it, but you write your own story, right? So you literally can be the director. You can be the person shooting it. You can be the writer. You can be, okay, this is going to happen and this is going to happen. And you can also be the main character. So you're all of those in one. So design the life that you want. You create your own reality. And I'm sorry to say, but whatever reality you are in right now, you created it because of the manifestations, because of the thoughts, because of the things that you probably haven't let go yet in your life. And I had to learn that hard secret just a few months ago. So don't think you're the only one if you're not happy where you are. But these steps that I'm about to teach you is going to kind of help you be grateful for where you are and know that you're going to be going further. Yeah, so step number one, make a decision. That's the income producing step number one. Step number two is you got to put in the work. Work, honey. You got to work. And I'm not saying like how what I came from, having 3, 4 jobs at one time. I remember, so another little story. I went to Rent-A-Center whenever I first got I got my second apartment here in New York City. It was in Brooklyn. And I went to Rent-A-Center because I wanted a big ass TV. At that time, my son's father took away the only flat screen TV I had in the apartment. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to get a big, dumb, stupid TV just to show off for him. And I ended up getting a 60-inch TV from Rent-A-Center and like a TV stand. Long story short, I freaking worked 3 jobs just to make sure that I paid off that TV and TV stand within the 3 months before interest hit it. They already raised the price of the actual stuff. But when the interest hits, oh my God, you're paying an arm and a leg for those things. So I made sure that to work however many jobs I needed to pay off the TV and the stand within 3 months. So the putting in the work is not working 1,000,001 jobs. I'm not telling you, from the research that I've done, you don't have to kill yourself to be successful. So let me go through the steps that I've learned over the time on how to make this is income producing activities for any internet marketer. Okay, so you guys are gonna think this is crazy. You guys aren't even gonna think that this is an income producing activity. But to your subconscious mind, to your brain, it is. So the first step is a 3D vision board. So this is my 3D vision board, guys. I hope you can see it. I know the lights are bright. Let's see. So 3D vision board. I've been doing vision boards since 2007. When I first watched The Secret, they taught vision boards, but they didn't say anything about 3D. So what I would do is I would just prop a whole bunch of pictures onto my board. And to be honest, my son actually, I feel like, came because of that first vision board that I made in 2007. J-Lo was first pregnant with her twins, and in one of the magazines it said finally pregnant. So I took that out. It was big yellow words. I still remember to this day. And I put it at the top of my board. That was I don't remember. I know that I was pregnant the next year, like the beginning of the next year. I think I maybe did it in like a June of 2007, June of 2007. Yeah, that sounds about right. And then found out I was pregnant February, and then I had my baby in October, or I found out when I was pregnant in January, something like that. So I feel since then that vision boards work profoundly. However, what I'm learning now is the 3D vision boards. So 3D vision boards, I'm going to show you one more time. If you can see it, basically this is a big white board, right? It's just a plain white board, but in the background there are scenery photos, right? So you can see the water, you can see palm trees, more water. You can see like a castle right here. So the main key to starting a 3D vision board is getting scenery photos. And how I found my scenery photos is I went to the dollar store and I bought 2 calendars. Oh shit, I have them right here. So I bought calendars that had views that I enjoyed. So I love the beach. So of course I ripped out pictures. Oh, this is a good one for a vision board. Pictures for my vision board. So go to the dollar store, get a calendar, rip out the pages, and you got to remember that they shouldn't be like just square pieces. They should be puzzle pieces. So it's okay if it's a little bit torn or ripped right here so that you can place the other picture right here. You got to kind of create a scenery for the background, right? And then you take pictures from magazines. I want an Infinity car. I kind of upgraded my goal, but I haven't found that picture just yet. I do have a Range Rover right here. But anyway, you take pictures from a magazine of things that you want, and then you close crop it, right? So you cut it really, really, really close to the edge of that picture, and then you put it on your board. So after you do it, you have, this is a close crop, this is a close crop. So the point of this close crop picture, this Rolex, is to basically cover up the line that disconnects this picture to this picture. But when you have this big picture of the object that you want, the material that you want, it kind of almost makes it look like these 2 scenery photos are together. And then as you can see, with my Infinity car, it kind of looks like it's diving into the water right here. And then the Range Rover is kind of going over like that, right? So when you start doing it 3D, it makes it look more realistic. And what one of my millionaire mentors told me was that it kind of gets rid of the blockage, right? It kind of makes it a little bit more smoother, a little bit more easier for you to get lost in the board. And that's the goal of the board, is to get lost in the board. So you want to have your vision board up in somewhere, probably in your bedroom, so that you can see it when you wake up and you can see it when you go to sleep. But the part of the work that we're talking about is every single morning after you make it, this is kind of the steps that you're going to be doing. First and foremost, meditate, pray, something of that sort. I kind of mix it up in the morning. I either meditate or I pray. I kind of do a little bit of both. It all depends on how I'm feeling and how much time I have. But you should be meditating or praying first. Then you're going to stare at your vision board. You're going to stare at your vision board until it looks real, until those pictures are popping out at you. And it sounds crazy, but it really does work. After a while, you're like, you feel yourself inside of your board, especially if you are cutting out the proper pictures. If you're cutting out the pictures that stand out to you, that like resonate with you, and you may not even know why you like this picture, but it makes you feel good, cut it out, put it on your board. And when you're staring at it in the morning, you will start to feel like you already are living in that board. So it's really, really cool. After you stare at your board, you want to do what I call morning work, mirror work, whatever you want to call it. So the mirror work is I'd go into my bathroom and I say affirmations and proclamations. I'm going to go ahead and share with you guys my actual affirmations and proclamations because I just want to. So life can get crazy. Paperwork could go everywhere if you let it. And so I keep my affirmations and proclamations connected with a little magnet, and I put it on the refrigerator door just so I can always find them whenever I'm ready to do my morning work. So affirmations. Affirmations are basically, I'm sure you guys already know, but it's basically a statement on a card that will say, I am, and then something. What I learned is, well, for myself personally, nobody really like taught me this, but I learned to write down the things that I did not feel like I was. So for a while, I didn't feel like I was a leader. For a while, I didn't feel like I was confident. For a while, I didn't feel like I was strong. For a while, because somebody tried to put it in my head, I didn't feel like I was a businesswoman. So I put, I am a businesswoman. So I like to put stuff that maybe you don't feel like you are, or I've heard a couple books and audios and they had affirmations. So I kind of took some of those that I really love. So I'll read mine just so you guys can have an idea of what to put on there. And I was told to have at least 10 affirmations, right? So let me even see how many I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, okay. I got about 15, 16, but it's not including these right here. So I'm just going to read a few for you guys really fast. I hope you guys are enjoying this. When I thought of the topic income producing activities, I was like, they're probably going to think that I'm going to tell you to go send this email, to go do this, to go do that. No, honestly, it's about brainwashing yourself to success. So these are all of the tips and tricks to brainwash yourself to success. All right. So some of my affirmations are, I am a conduit of God. I am one with everything. I am in a supportive, loving, and spontaneous relationship. This one is for if you feel as though there's something burning inside of you that is holding you back, I guess you can say, then this is a good one. I cast this burden on the Christ within and I go free. That shit was powerful. I forgot what book I got it from. Then I put, I am worthy. I feel so excited about my new business opportunity. I love my body. I feel so fabulous when I look in the mirror. I feel so sexy in every outfit I wear. I am everything that mankind created that I can see and touch, but I am also invisible. This one I got somewhere and it still hasn't fully resonated, but I know that it's really important. So I make sure that I say it every day. I am flying around first class. I am paying cash for everything. And there's a couple extra cards that has nothing to do with affirmations in there. Now, I'm in a business opportunity that has millionaire mentoring. And with the millionaire mentoring, they actually provide a lot of value. for you to help yourself, basically brainwash yourself to success. So there was a file that you could print out, tons of what I call proclamations. I feel like proclamations are a longer sentence than the I am something, I am that. Proclamations, I feel, are like longer sentences to get you fired up. So I'm not going to read all 3 pages, but I'm going to read like maybe the first half of the pages so that you guys can understand the concept of proclamations. So it says, it says morning affirmations, but they have a lot to do with money. So I have the power within me to earn as much money as I choose. I am consistently in the right vibration to earn money. Money flows to me. My favorite one, money flows to me from known and unknown sources. Money is easy to earn and attract. I now have all the intelligence I need to make my fortune. Earning money comes easily to me. I deserve all the money I want. I consistently use money wisely. I now have the absolute certainty in my ability to generate the income I choose. So those, and then I find money everywhere with ease. Money is everywhere and I find it with ease. Like stuff like that. When you're like saying it in the mirror, remember your affirmations, proclamations. I'm going to give you one more step that you need to be saying in the mirror. You should be looking at yourself, like look at your pupil. After a while, when you come from staring at your vision board, then doing these affirmations in the mirror, you somehow transform into a different person. Like you see a different person in the mirror whenever you're doing it. If you do it on a consistent basis, at first you feel stupid as hell doing it. You feel dumb. You think it's not going to work. You think this is just stupid. But when you do it on a regular basis, and you need to be doing it every single day, if not multiple times a day, you will start to look at yourself differently. So the last thing that I like to do in the mirror is tell myself 2 things. And the first one is, I love you, Stacy, just the way that you are. Say it 10 times. I love you, Stacy, just the way that you are. I love you, Stacy, just the way that you are. I love you, Stacy, just the way that you are. And when I say that, for me personally, coming from a life of, I would say, abuse and people talking down on me or saying all these horrible things about me, even though I knew in my heart I wasn't, me telling myself every single day that I love myself, it's important. It's important. And I feel like it's important for even if you didn't go through any abuse. You need to tell yourself that you love yourself every single day. Because always remember, you should be loving God or the universe, higher power first, then yourself, and then others. So telling yourself that you love yourself every day is huge. The next one is, I accept myself unconditionally, even though a part of me feels I don't deserve to be successful. I accept myself unconditionally, even though a part of me feels I don't deserve to be successful. So these are things that I learned in the trainings that I've done in the last in the last year. And I didn't understand the science behind it. But as I started to do it, I actually tried to change that one. I used to say, I accept myself unconditionally and I deserve to be successful. That was totally my ego trying to come out of there. I wasn't following the process whatsoever. A lot of people, they don't feel like they can be successful. They may have it in their heart, but they don't truly feel it. So you have to tell yourself at least 10 times a day, I accept myself unconditionally, even though a part of me feels I don't deserve to be successful. We all deserve it, but for some reason, a human condition kicks in and tells us we don't. So you have to tell yourself, brainwash yourself, brainwash yourself. And then the last and final work that you need to be putting in is called universal deposits. So my mentor says 3 universal deposits a day will keep the bill collectors away. And I was like, ooh, that sounds good. I don't want no more bill collectors calling me. So what do I got to do? And I couldn't really figure it out, honestly. I had to really dig down deep to figure out what that universal deposit meant. And this is basically what it is. And it should be done, by the way, on a daily basis. Everything that I just named, the vision board, stare at your board, mirror work, affirmations, proclamations, I love myself, I accept myself, and universal deposits, that's the work. You have to do it every single day. So universal deposit is, you basically are giving away some value for free directly to somebody or a group of people. Now, I don't look at it as you record a video and then you just give it away. I look at it as we should be here one-on-one, on a Zoom, on a Google, on Facebook Messenger, whatever it is. It should be one-on-one or on a nice, like multiple people can be in the group. And it should be you giving some sort of value, something that people could probably figure out on their own. But it's a little bit more advanced than just Googling it, or something that you know that works for the market or niche that you have. So I'll give an example for me, right? I help people online. I help internet marketers make money. So my market is internet marketers. So what I teach for my universal deposits on a daily basis is how they can use Facebook, turn it into their personal ATM, and also gain at least 150 leads within 1 hour, on using Facebook, using a tool on Facebook. So I teach that. That takes 10, 15 minutes, really. I mean, I don't think I was told how long that universal deposit is supposed to be. I don't think they said it has to be an hour. But if you do teach something, you want to keep in mind the value that you're giving, because when you give a dollar amount value away, it will come back to you. And that's the purpose of universal deposits. You're making a universal deposit. You're giving away valuable information because you know somehow, some way that's going to come back to you. Okay? So make sure that you do at least 3 universal deposits a day and have a value on it. So for example, if my hourly rate is like, for when I was doing microblading, is $400 an hour, and I gave 3 people universal deposits. I gave them value in one day. That means I earned $1,200 for the day. Yes, it was universal. Yes, it was imaginary deposit. However, I know that that $1,200 is going to come back to me somehow, some way. So that's the work, people, the work. So I'm going to break it down one more time. 3D vision boards. It needs to be 3D, three-dimensional. Big stuff, little stuff, stuff that you can get lost in. I get lost in my castle right there all the time. And then I also get lost in my little castle over here, and also my bedroom setting that's at the bottom right corner. I get lost in it when I stare at the board in the morning. So stare at your vision board. First off, you got to make one. Then stare at your vision board. After you stare at your vision board and it feels realistic, you go and you do your mirror work. Your mirror work pertains affirmations, proclamations. You tell yourself you love yourself at least 10 times. You tell yourself that you accept yourself unconditionally 10 times. And then the work is making universal deposits, giving at least 3 people a day some sort of value for free. Okay? Okay. So last but not least, for my whole little training is for income producing activities. And you're going to think that this is crazy because it's not physically doing something, but it's belief. I don't even know if I spelled that right because I'm a horrible speller, but it's belief. So, whew, belief. One book that I discovered not too long ago was called The Magic of Believing by Claude Bristol. That book, it basically was the character, I guess you can say, which I'm pretty sure it's Claude Bristol. He basically was like in like the 1930s or whatever. And he gives stories on how when he started believing in himself, he became like a millionaire and so on and so forth. But one story in that book kind of resonated with me a lot because of what we were just talking about, the mirror work. So he said a story where it was a millionaire that he was like being mentored by. And the millionaire just got finished having was just in a dinner, right? With a bunch of like investors and stuff like that, a bunch of business people. It was basically supposed to be a dinner for a business opportunity, but they took it a little bit far and they were drinking. And so this millionaire basically got too drunk. So what he did was he went upstairs, and I believe Claude Bristol followed him upstairs on the low just to make sure that he was okay. And what Claude Bristol saw was this millionaire talking to himself in the mirror. And he basically was like looking at himself, and you could see in the story, it basically says like how he was slurring and how he couldn't hold himself up and so on and so forth. But by the time he got finished saying something like, I forgot exactly what he said, but he was basically like, they're trying to get you. Don't let them get you. You are amazing. Like he would basically say like affirmations and talk to himself to get himself out of the mindset of being drunk. And so Claude Bristol says all of a sudden he saw that he was a new man after he did like his affirmations in the mirror, and he went downstairs and he closed the deal, whatever deal that it was. So magic of believing, it kind of helped me start believing a little bit more in the work that we got to put in. But then it also gave so many other amazing stories. And if you're on YouTube, it's only like a 2-hour audio book. So listen to it. It's so good. Just so good. So then the belief, right? This one's kind of huge. And I've been, you know what's so crazy? I've been putting it on my social media a lot. And that's the topic of having toxic people around you. And I knew from a couple years ago that eliminating people that were holding you back was really important. But after doing these affirmations and proclamations on a regular basis, and one proclamation is, I now release any emotions and negative people that have hindered me from earning all the money I can in the past. Just a couple weeks ago, after going through an experience, because no matter what business you're in, you're more than likely going to have people. You're going to have some kind of relationship. No matter what business you're in, you're going to have a relationship with people, and some people may be for you. Some people may not, and they blatantly will be like, yes, I love you. No, I hate you. But then there are some people that are going to say, I love you. I love you. I love you. However, they don't want you to get ahead of them. And it may not be to them knowing that that's how they are, but that's how some people are. So after me on a regular basis saying these affirmations and proclamations, I truly feel as though like the universe, God, whoever you want to call it, opened up the doors for me to see who are the people that truly, truly care about me, that truly, truly want to see me get ahead. And there's no kind of jealousy or envy behind it. So in the belief process, you need to make sure that you don't have those toxic people around you, because like the affirmation says, it says, I now release any emotions and negative people that have hindered me from earning all the money I can in the past. So people and emotions can hinder you from making any kind of money. So keep in mind that, okay? The next thing is, I was just listening to Les Brown, and Les Brown basically said, you're either going to have toxic people or nourishing people in your life. And that's the same thing I was just talking about. The nourishing people, though, are going to be the ones that are going to be uplifting you. And it's really, really important to get some sort of mentor as well, because mentors usually can see something in you that you can't see yourself. And I wouldn't be here today without the mentorship that I've had in the past year, 2 years. So nourishing people around you is going to help you with that belief. The next topic is, it all began with the word. Woo! Who goes to church up in here? Who knows that? I don't know what palm or whatever it is, but it all began with the word. So a part of having that belief is, it's kind of like you got to train your subconscious mind for certain words and sayings, right? And that's the reason why these are up on my wall. So the top left one, at least my left, it says, love always wins. Then it says, follow your heart. Then believe in yourself. And joy is contagious. I bought those a while ago, and I didn't know what to do with them whatsoever, but I just knew the importance of having the word around me. Not only just writing stuff down, but also having and looking at the word. So you want to put stuff around you that is going to help you kind of believe. And that vision board is going to help it. Getting signs like this is going to help it. Even just writing on a dry erase board, even just taking a board and writing crap on the back. Write stuff to help you believe. On my mirrors, all of my mirrors, I love the Dollar Tree. They had like stickers, like mirror like stickers that I put on top of my son in my mirror, and it says believe at the top of it. So I have these motivational quotes and sayings all up around me. It's not just, I'm not fronting for the gram, I'm not fronting for Facebook. I really truly am working on brainwashing myself to believe in myself, right? So it all began with the word. Surround yourself with the word. And also you want to have goals. This is another little thing that I learned recently. Now, my mentor didn't call it a goal board, but I called it a goal board. So you could do it on the back of your vision board if you really wanted to, but you need to map out your goals. So even if it's on a piece of paper, it's fine. But you need to get this shit out of your head. Excuse my language. But you need to get your goals out of your head. I remember my sister for the longest time saying, I have all these goals to do this, this, and this, and this. And I said, did you write it down? And she's like, no, I have it in my head though. And I'm like, I knew years ago that having it in your head is not going to get you anywhere. So I just did this big goal board, and it, like, I'm having moments sometimes and I'm like, I'm going to picture where I'm going to be in 5 years, because on the goal board, you basically want to have goals, and I'm going to list all of the things that are on the board, right? So the timeline, right? You need to have goals for 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 3 years, and 5 years. I'm going to say it one more time for the people that love to take notes. 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 3 years, and 5 years. I was told that your subconscious mind can't handle after the 5 years. And then also when you truly put in the complete work, that 1 year could happen in 1 month if you really do the work right. So 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 3 years, and 5 years. And then these are the little subsections that you should be focusing in on. Hope you have pen and papers. So first goal is health and fitness, because if you're not healthy, there's no point of even doing anything. Like if you can't, if your mind isn't right, if your health isn't right, if your fitness isn't right, then you can't enjoy the pleasures of life, right? So your number one goal should be health and fitness. Second one is spiritual and emotional. Where do you want to be spiritually? Where do you want to be emotionally? The next one is family and relationships. If you're successful, you have all the money in the world, and you have it by yourself, then what's the point of that? Like, you want to be able to share some of the things that you have. Not only that, share experiences, you know? So family and relationships is next. After family and relationships is career and travel. Where do you want to travel to? Where do you want to go? Where do you want your career, your business to go within that time span? And last but not least, it's financial goals and stuff. So financial goals and stuff. So that stuff could be the materialistic things that you have on your vision board. That stuff could be a new home that you want to have. And then obviously financial goals is usually going to be some kind of number, some kind of dollar amount. And let me see. I just updated my board. I first did it in December. Yeah, so I actually reached my goal, by the way, of the first month of my income that I wanted to produce for the month of January after I did this board. So I keep a little note on the side where I first did my board December 11th, then I updated on February 13th, and I updated again on February 18th. So I still actually need to fully picture where I want to be in 1 year, 3 years, and 5 years. I can see the overall big goal, but to map it out with all those different categories, I still have to do. So it takes a little bit of time. It's a little bit of homework, but remember I said this is the work. When you can put all of this stuff on paper, and then I'll tell you the very, very last step. Well, no, it's really not even the last step. Like, for the work section, you should be messaging people either through email, Facebook Messenger, however you do it. But you should be messaging people to build a relationship. You should be messaging at least 25 people per day. But that's for the first 21 days. And what my mentor calls it is you're breaking inertia if you can do that for 21 days straight. So just like you form a habit for anything else, to try to get rid of something, some kind of addiction, or if you form a habit of exercise, it's the same thing. You want to be messaging your people, your prospects, your leads, whatever you want to call it, at least 21 days in a row, 25 different people. So that's just going to break the inertia. And I feel like after a while, you don't have to message as many people because you already have people that are in your vortex, kind of like in your flow, kind of like people that are in your area, and soon they're just going to and buy whatever you have, right? So making sure that you writing out your goals and what you need to do is super duper extra important. And the very, very, very last thing, which I feel like I was like everywhere. So I'm gonna recap all of this. But the very last thing for you to have the belief in your income producing activities is to have a gratitude journal. Boy, so Oprah is the one that taught me this a long time ago. And I started it. I actually started it July 27th of 2016. And there was so much crap that happened in my life since that time that I actually stopped. And when I started to get back into this income producing activities, the brainwashing myself to success, I continued this gratitude journal. And ironically, it ended up being like, it was like July 26th of 2017 that I got back onto it. So it was a year that I wasn't doing it, and shit fell off. I'm not going to lie. Like, stuff fell off for myself. But when I started writing out daily what I'm grateful for, everything else kind of sort of fell into place. And I feel that that happened because I was actually grateful for what I had. I was the type of, I am, or I was, I'll say I was the type of person that was like, I have so many goals and I got to get there. Like, it was a lot of times to prove people wrong or to get me and my son out of the situation. And I wasn't grateful for the things that were around me. And when I wasn't grateful, a lot of things fell off. Like, I'm not going to lie, I lost my car. I lost my husband. I lost the home that we created together. And I just completely fell off. But once I started doing my gratitude journal every single night, you could do it whenever you want. You just got to write down what you're grateful for. You write down at least 5 things that you're grateful for on a daily basis. Once I started doing this gratitude journal again, everything kind of sort of just started to fall into place. And it actually calmed me. It calmed me down because I realized, like, wow, I'm really, really blessed. I'm really, really in a good place, even though I haven't accomplished the goals that I want to accomplish. But this gratitude journal is helping me see that I'm closer to getting it. So it helped me personally in that way. I'm sure it can help you in many other ways, but just try your best to write down what you're thankful for every single day, at least 5 things that you're grateful for. Okay. So I'm just going to recap it real fast. I hope you guys got some value out of this. These income producing activities uh, are really simple and they really work. You just got to actually do it. Sleeping in every single day, laying in the bed all the time and being lazy and not getting this stuff done is not going to get you anywhere. You're going to stay a bum. So, not calling you a bum. I'm calling the person behind you that's doing that a bum. But so let's recap really, really fast. So, income producing activities. You first need to make a decision. Make a decision on what you want, the title that you are. You can also make a decision on the dollar amount you want to make for that year. So my goal, I'm going to say it flat out. I don't care. I have nothing to hide, right? I'm an open book. My goal for this year is to make $100,000 online and online only. So that's my goal. And I have it written in my bathroom mirror. When I'm doing my affirmations, I'm looking at that goal as well. So I made a decision that I'm gonna make $100,000. I already made $100,000 this year. That's it. That's it. But you got to make the decision, right? Make the decision and design the life that you want. So be the director of your life. Write down, be the screenwriter of your life. Write down how you want your life to play out. And you should write it down as if it's already happened. Say, I'm so thankful and happy that such and such, such and such, such and such. Write it out as if it already happened. Okay. So make that decision and write it down. Then you got to put in the work on a daily basis. And the work on a daily basis is staring at your 3D vision board, doing your affirmations in the mirror, your proclamations in the mirror, telling yourself that you love yourself every day, telling yourself that you accept yourself the way that you are, even though a part of you feels you don't deserve to be successful. Then doing universal deposits. So you're helping at least 3 people a day in their business somehow grow, giving them pointers of some kind of way. You can also, I kind of look at it as when you're not like a life coach, but when you're giving like advice and you're there for somebody that's not like in victimhood, maybe somebody that's a little bit like they know that they can be successful in business, but things are kind of holding them back. If you're giving them advice while giving them pointers about business, I kind of consider that a universal deposit as well. And then also you want to make sure at least for 21 days straight, message or email your prospects or leads and build relationships with them, right? You're the only way that you're going to make any kind of money online or in any kind of business is if you build a relationship with them. So those messagings, doing it 21 days straight, it breaks your inertia. It breaks you from not doing it because it's really, really important. Because people aren't just going to come to you and be like, hey, I want a part of your business. No, they got to know, like, or trust you. So you got to put in the work in building relationships somehow, some way. And then the last step is belief. A great book to learn about belief is Magic of Bleeding, Magic of Believing by Claude Bristol. And the only way that you can really, truly, fully believe in yourself is by getting rid of any toxic people that are in your life and putting nourishing people in your life, people that are going to nourish you, nourish your soul, nourish your brain, nourish your confidence. And then it all begins with the word. So doing your goal board or writing out your goals or having words around you like belief, believe in yourself, follow your heart. Those things are going to help you kind of believe in yourself so that the real work can happen, like people will start coming to you. You start becoming the attractor factor, so on and so forth. Last but not least, gratitude journal. You need to be writing 3 to 5 things that you're grateful for on a daily basis. You can do it in the morning. You can do it at night. I typically do it at night just to kind of like recap my day. Like, whoa, that happened. I can't believe it. And I, to this day, haven't gone and read any of my gratitude entries since I started it. And I kind of feel like, especially now that I'm saying it, that I want to go and do that because I want to see how far I've came since I first started it. Because I already know, like, I'm a different person since I started to make it actual, I won't say a religion, like it was, I had made sure that I made it a routine to do it every single day. I want to see how far I came. So I am so thankful for you guys to be on here tonight. You guys are absolutely amazing. I hope these income producing activities can help with you guys. And I hope it kind of calms down the anxiety that comes with being an internet marketer. Because I know I had the anxiety when I first started and I couldn't put all of the puzzle pieces together in order to be successful. So these are the things that I've learned and that I have implemented and that have been successful for me. And I know that it will be successful for you as long as you put in the work. So you guys have an amazing day, night, afternoon, whatever you want to call it. But I'll see you guys on the inside.